What's up, Transformers fans? Welcome to week 20 of Moonbase 84's year-long celebration, celebrating 40 years of Grimlock and the Dinobots. And for this week, I thought it'd be fun to check out the Deluxe Scorn from Transformers Age of Extinction. Like the Dinobots in general in Transformers, the Transformers Age of Extinction movie, he didn't get a lot of screen time, but fans, including myself, have come to love Scorn, and a lot of that is due to this Deluxe toy and by some extension the Voyager. There is a debate. Some fans like the Voyager better than the Deluxe, but this Deluxe is no slouch, and we're going to take a closer look at him right now. Quickly before we do, if you could hit the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and all that jazz, I'd really appreciate it. Okay, so here is Scorn in his Spinosaurus mode, obviously. The Spinosaurus dinosaur in general is like, it's just crazy what surrounds him, because now they always change what they think he actually looked like and how he stood. Now some people are saying that he's more of a belly crawler, but at the time, of course, and a lot of times they still do portray him in media and things as kind of like a T-Rex, how he stands, and that's the way the Scorn is, obviously. Someday they might totally change it, and media might have him back as a belly crawler. He's just the Spinosaurus in general is a very interesting dinosaur, because just the debate is everlasting. But checking out this Scorn, he does stand like a T-Rex, obviously. And as you can see, he is cast in reds, and then you get some gray and some orange. And the Dinobots in Age of Extinction weren't going for a realistic look per se, so they're all like plates, like metal plates, so it gives them like an armored plate look throughout. Very jagged, very sharp lines. And yeah, here's his dino head. You can see we've got some silver there, and his menacing eye. Very menacing looking dino head. Spinosaurus was a very menacing dinosaur. And then of course you get some more of that detail here in the neck. Very sharp, very angular, as I said, throughout the whole body. And then you got his spine for his name. And I like the colors there, the reds with like that grayish, but the grayish, like the way it is, it almost comes off like as a pinkish hue to the gray. And then you got some silvers and some grays mixed. That big jagged tail. Go down to the dino feet. See a lot of sharp plates, a lot of sharp lines armored on the Age of Extinction Dinobots. What I do like about the figures is Hasbro, the Dinobot figures, Hasbro knew that just having the gray and black Dinobots, all of them gray, black with a little bit of silver like they were in the movies, would probably make for boring toys in the kids aisle. So for the figure releases, they gave them all different color schemes, and they really pop, and I think it works in general. It makes them much more interesting. In Dino mode, Scorn can open and shut his jaw, and he can look down a little bit and look up like that. But what's cool about him, I think, the thing I like the most in Dino mode for him is that he can tilt his head from side to side, which is really cool. His little arms, well, they're longer than a T-Rex, but they move around ball joints. Nothing really in the tail, but you can move his knee here, and then can you move it? Yeah, you can shift there a little bit, and then you can rotate here at the upper leg. So decent amount of posability for him in Dino mode. But yeah, just a really nice looking Dino mode in general. Oh, and his head also rotates. I almost forgot that. Nothing in the feet. Sometimes he gets a little back heavy because of the tail. This is an older copy, so that might make it a little bit harder, but I just think in general. But yeah, really cool. So now what I'm going to do is transform him up, and we will check out Scorn's robot mode. Before we check out Scorn's robot mode, I almost forgot, I wanted to show you that he has weapon storage underneath of his tail. Can hold his sword, which is really cool, and just like Scorn himself, it's red and very jagged. And we'll take a look at a little bit more in robot mode. So here's Scorn all transformed up into his robot mode, and I gotta say, I really love his bot mode. It just looks very, very badass. It looks like, you know, what you would want a Dinobot to look like, basically. Very, very cool. We're going to take a closer look. Of course, I already have him holding his sword. I didn't mention this in Dino mode, but I'll mention it now. He has some softer plastic parts on him, and I think it's because basically because he's so spiky, so angular with spikes and sharpness, that for safety reasons, you know, safety laws for toys, they did some soft plastic so kids wouldn't cut themselves. And that's his tail. It's like a rubbery plastic, and the spines in themselves. But going to his head sculpt, now the Dinobots all have like a knight motif, so he has like a knight helmet, and each one, I think is cool about the Age of Extinction Dinobots, each one has a different type of knight helmet, and I really like Scorn's. Just simple, not too fancy, little detail on the top. You got that nice blue showing through with a little silver. You can see his nice clean Dinobot crest, you know, and all the orange, you know, plays out. I like how it plays across his chest and shoulders. It's really nice. And you know, all that armory robotic type paneling. And you got some silver and orange like in his torso section. Going down to the sides, he's got the spiky feet, spiky toed feet. That is also, I think they did that on purpose for the sole reason that a lot of armors back in the medieval times did have spiky feet. So a lot of these Dinobots do as well. Just really cool. And then you see his tail, which is kind of like a lance now. Now, it's weird because I like, you know, I love Beast Wars, I love Beast Formers, but I prefer when, it's not that I don't like it, but I prefer when a Beast Former has like normal arms. Even like probably one of my favorite Beast Formers, Beast Wars Megatron, he has the T-Rex for a hand. It's cool, but I always prefer when they have traditional hands. And I don't hate this, but it'd be cool if you could detach it and he could have like a regular arm as well, and this was just like an added weapon. That's all. Small gripe. His other arm, see, as you can see, his dino head is on his forearm, but you do get a traditional hand. And he's really nice. I mean, not a lot of junk hanging off him. I like how this part of his dino mode, the sides of his legs fold down and it looks like more armor. So that's really cool. And of course, I love how his spine splits up from the Spinosaurus mode, and you have these jutting out the back, pretty clean in the back. You do see the robot arms. But yeah, really, really nice robot mode. The legs on mine, the ball joints are getting a little loose. I might have to do the nail polish trick eventually. For articulation, his head does swivel. Looks up a tiny bit, looks down a tiny bit. His arms do come out. I like how on mine the ball joints on the legs are loose, but up here is still pretty tight. He does the T. You get the elbow bend, rotation, and rotation here as well at the shoulder and the bicep. His wrist on this side doesn't rotate, but it does hinge back and forth. He does have a waist, if I can get it all. That's the thing, there's so many spiky things and stuff, sometimes it's hard to grip these Dinobots. Oh, and without transfer, he does have a waist, there you go. He does have a waist, because of those ball joints. His leg kicks that way. His knee assembly is funky because you put it in, you know, the opposite direction for Dino mode. But he does have knee bend and a swivel at the thigh. For foot articulation, just this toe, and a lot of that's because of transformation. No rocker or anything, but you can still, if I get his knees not to look wonky, you can still get him in some really cool attack poses. If I can get him, see how loose that ball joint is. But yeah, really cool. Just a really nicely done robot mode. So that is my look at Transformers Age of Extinction movie Deluxe Class Dinobot Scorn. This Scorn is easily one of my favorite Dinobot figures from Age of Extinction. He might be my top. I'm going to do a ranking, I think, sometime. But anyway, the the Spinosaurus mode looks awesome. The robot mode looks awesome. You can get a lot of good poses out of him. He's not a pain in the butt to transform like some Bayverse Transformers are. I know by the time Age of Extinction came around, toy-wise, they tried to simplify those transformations on the toys because they were getting really complicated and out of hand for a lot of people. Yeah, just a fantastic overall figure. I think he still stands up, holds up pretty well today, toy-wise. And the one other thing I'd like to say about Scorn is I would like to see him show up in other media. I know I talked about that in one of our celebration of Grimlock and the Dinobots videos about how I would like to see another Dinobot subline return. That would be awesome. Perfect way to put Scorn, give us another Scorn. And it doesn't have to be the Age of Extinction version. Just give us another Spinosaurus named Scorn, and then I think that'd be awesome. I really hope that someday we get another Dinobot subline, or we get some more Dinobots in a new show. I know these guys were released. I think they were all released in traditional. I could be wrong. Correct me in the comments if I am, because there's so much stuff out there. But I think Scorn, along with the other Dinobots, were all recolored in like quote-unquote traditional G1 type colors. I think they all were. So I think there's a version of that, and there's also the Voyager. The Deluxe is totally perfect, fine in my book. I'm not saying the Voyager's not good, but yeah. And if you don't have them and you're interested, just want to let you know he is pricey on the secondary market. I had gotten mine a while back. This is a used copy, and he wasn't cheap. I was, out of all the Age of Extinction Dinobots, Scorn is the priciest one, it seems. Both Voyager and Deluxe. Okay, that'll wrap up week 20 of our celebration of celebrating 40 years of Grimlock and the Dinobots. And as always, thanks for docking.